Hey there, it's Pork here from Attitudes, and I'm here to present you with the long-awaited tutorial on how to design a website in Adobe Photoshop. You're also going to need Dreamweaver as well, or any HTML editor for that matter, so just to let you know to have that ready. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to take the website that you that was in the previous tutorial. I've had two computers since that one, so I don't have that file anymore, so I quickly made up another one. It's the same as before. Same banner system, text, using the brush to make the quick logo, and then just the words labeled out for our navigation. They're on the left hand side. Last time they were up here. So we're going to go to the slice tool. If you can't see the slice tool, left click and hold down on your crop tool, your perspective crop tool, or your slice select tool. And if you left click and hold down on either of those, whichever one is showing, you'll get your slice tool. You can select it there. Now, when slicing up the page to go into Dreamweaver or your HTML editor, you can do it in, just cut up the words and that's it. But I like to do it a little bit neat, so as if I want to change things later on, design whatever I can. So before we do all that, actually, we're going to go to File and we're going to save the web page. I call mine Web Test. Okay. Now, on your layers over here, you should have your layers all neatly organized and titled and everything as well, so you know what you're changing if you ever want to change the element. If, for example, you've got all your website finished, done, and it's uploaded, and you want to change some text, you will actually come into Photoshop and change the text, not into your HTML editor. So again, if you have everything labeled, you'll know which one you're dealing with very quickly, and you can edit it. Anyway, so here we go. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to separate the banner. We don't need to be neat with this because essentially the banner will not be, anything that needs to be majorly changed later on. So there we go. Left click, hold down, drag the box around, and you're done. I'm going to do the same with the text. Left click, hold down, done. Now the difference is, because these words here are going to become links that people will click on to browse through your website, these have to each have their own box. So that's important. Whatever on the page you want people to be able to click and go to a different page on has to have its own slice box. So it doesn't have to be neat, it just has to be roughly around the word. There's one, and I'm going to go from the bottom down here and up. There's two, and about. You can have a million here. I just have three here just to show you how it's done. Okay, and that's your page sliced up. Now you're going to go to File, and this time Save for Web, which I think is only in CS5 or later. So if you don't have that, you need a later version. But Adobe have trials on all the time for master suites and everything, so go and get that. So one click Save for Web. I'm going to leave everything as it is here. You can press the mouse select tool to make sure you've got everything boxed up the way you want it. I'm just going to click Save. Now, what you're basically saving here, what you're doing when you click Save, is creating a web file. I'm going to call mine Index. My basic first page is called Index, the one that people see when they load up my website. And I'm going to go to, this is one I practiced on earlier on, so we'll just discount that. I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop just to make it easier to get to. I'm going to call it, excuse me, Web Test. Okay. So go into your web test folder when you've created and save your file as index.html. Okay? And that's going to create a file and a folder inside that folder which has images in it, which I'll show you now. Here we go, web test. So there's your index.html and there's your images, which is what we cut up. Now, if I double click on the index, that will open in Firefox and I'll see it there. Nothing works, no links work or anything. Can't do anything with it. So that's your basic web page. Again, design and stuff. You just go, oh look, it's my my channel. Coincidence. So anyway, we're going to go in here to Dreamweaver now. If you don't have Dreamweaver, a default web editor will do. I don't know if you can do this stuff with default web editors. I use Dreamweaver because first of all it's a trial, and also because it's it's much easier to use in my opinion. So we're going to go to Desktop and go to Web Test and load your index page. Okay. And there you go. Now, I'll make mine a little bit smaller just so you can see what we're doing. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Now, you can see that these things we sliced up each have their own individual boxes. And this is why we slice, because we want Home, Photo, and About to be a link that people can click to go to different pages on our website. I'm going to start off with Home. Select Home. Make sure nothing else is selected except Home. A good way, once you select it, is down here on the left hand side, you'll see what you've selected as a unit, and you can see there it's Home. That's the source, don't worry about that. In the link box, there's two ways of doing this. You can type in the file you want it to link to, or you can go to Browse, and then just select that, and you'll see it's just index.html. Or you can again just type index.html. It's all the same. That's it done. I mean, essentially that page will now link back to this page, and I'll go into that in a second. We're going to go to photo now, and because we don't have a photo.html page, I'm just going to type it in anyway. Photo.html. Okay, and then we're going to go to about, and guess what? We're going to type about.html. Alright, now what we've done there is we've told this image that it's clickable, and when someone clicks it, to bring them to this page. Okay, now with this format of naming, when you upload your folder, your index files, your HTML files, and your images folder to a web server to host, it'll all work, so you won't have to do any extra work on that. Now that's it. Now we're going to File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as index. And it's very important before you make any extra pages to get all your links working on the index, because your index is going to be like your template later on for, you know, different things. So index.html, make sure that's selected, hit save. Yes. Okay, now because we have, I'm going to go to my web test, because we only have one file here to work with, we haven't created a brand new photo page or a brand new whatever page, but we can go back into Photoshop, and keeping everything as it is, just get our text tool. Actually, I'm going to get this lorem ipsum box, which is just junk stuff for thing. I'm just going to delete it. I selected a layer and delete it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm just going to open some random images. Now I'll go to my computer, and I'll go to Users if I can find it. PC is me, and Pictures. And I'm just going to pick some random pictures from, I don't know what, probably personal pictures, cat pictures, that'll do. So I'm going to pick 3 images that look kind of different. And click OK. And then 3 will load up in separate files. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C. Actually no, first you go select all. Then I'm going to go Control C. I'm going to go back into my web page, and I'm going to click Control V. Now yes, I know it's huge and it looks mad, you know, the size. We're going to go to Image and Image Size, and we're going to bring that down to, let's say, 333 by 187. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's the image itself. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go to, oh no, I've done it wrong. I meant to do it in the, there we go. I meant to do it in the actual file itself, not, you know, later on. So we're going to go to Image, Image Size. I'm going to make it like 333. This is just a rough, you know, rough idea. Control, whoops. Image size. Okay, we're going to go to Select and hit All, and then Control C to copy it. Go back into our web page now, and there you can see it's a much better size to manage with. So this is just an example of what you can do. Again, you know, it's really just about taste and everything. I'm just showing you roughly what you can do. And I'll just bring in one more image. That's my cat trousers, by the way. So we're going to go to Image Size 333. We're going to go to Select All, or you can hit Control A, but I'll just do that by habit. Control C, back into the web page, Control V, and then just line it up there. There you go. Now I'm going to just duplicate this layer because I'm going to be going through all that again. But you can take your time and add in the photographs that you want and everything. And then I'm just going to drag it out. There. Now, this is just to show you a typical photo page. You know, just a typical what a photo page would be. You don't have to worry about, you know, I'm not going to worry about what looks good or why even a cat would be on a website like this. I'm just showing you how to get the images in and how to make them look, you know, line them up and stuff. The real technical, the real kind of design element is always down to you. This is just a quick rough idea of how to get them into the page at all. Now we're just going to keep those 3 images as they are. We're going to go to File, Save for Web. Okay, and we're going to click Save. We're going to back in here, but this time we're going to call this Photo. Okay, just Photo, and then we'll go into HTML itself, and then click Save. Just replace. Okay, now if we go back into our folder here, we now have a photo.html. And considering we've saved this index.html, we've double clicked it by the way, we saved the HTML with all the links working, which is why I said to do that. So if I click on photo, there you go. If I click home, the reason why it's not working there is because on the photo.html, I haven't actually made the links work. So we're going to go, we can fix that in a minute. So we're going to file, we're going to open photo.html. Okay, and again we have the 3 boxes laid out. So in about, I'm going to type about.html. Oh, that's not HTML. In photo, I'm going to type photo.html. And in home, I'm going to click the folder this time, just to do it different, show you different ways of doing it. So index, I want that to go to. So we're going to go to File, Save As, Photo, Save. Yes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the folder here. Now, if I double click index, and now I click, say, home, it just reloads home. If I go to photo, it brings us up the photo page. But now if I click on home, it brings us back. So in Dreamweaver, open the pages individually, whichever ones you have that you're using yourself. It might be called photo, could be called something else. Open it up, change the links, and save it, and then it'll work in Firefox like this: photo, home, photo, home. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to do the same thing again for about. We don't need images on the about page, so select your images, and we're going to take that text box in again. So all I'm going to do here is, all I'm going to do here is take the text tool, make a box roughly. As I said, you know, you really can fill this in whatever you want. This is just to show you how it works, not, you know. I'm going to control that, and I'm just going to, oh, that looks weird. Let's fix that. Okay, it doesn't want it. So we're going to select all the text, and we're going to, there we go. So we're going to select that, copy it, go to the last word here, return. And why is it doing that? I don't know. Anyway, basically, I'll just deselect all this. I don't know why it's doing that, to be honest with. Anyway, so basically you fill in your text here, what you want in the about page, and that's it. So basically you can take your, you could even take your text box back in, the one from the original page, and just to show you, type in about, or whatever it is, add an image down here, whatever you like. Once you've done that, you select File. Actually, just to make it easier, I'll go, just to show you this is the actual page. We're going to go to File, Save for Web again. Whoops, no, we're not. We're going to do that first. File, Save for Web. We're going to click Save, and we're going to call this, you guessed it, About. And save. Yes. Okay, and we're going to go into Dreamweaver. We're going to File, Open. We now have an HTML file called About. We open that, and again I'm going to go to Home. I'm going to go to the folder. Index is home. Remember that if you're new to this kind of stuff. Index.html is always your home page. Photo. I'm going to click on the folder box and go into Photo. And About. Just go down and make sure I have this selected properly. About, select, and we're going About. Okay. So again, I'm going to hit File, Save As, and save it. Yes. And now when we go into the HTML page and we go Home and we click About, this is the About page. You could have filled this in whatever you like. Again, I'm just showing you kind of, you know, what happens. So if you click Photo from there, you get your photos. Click About, get About. Click Home. That's just changing because of the size. I have changed these two. So hold on, bring that up a bit. Make it the same. So there you go. You have 3 pages now that you can put in what you like in. Home is your basic, you know, what the website is about and stuff like that. Photos, a few photos. You can even make them clickable. I'll show you how to do that now to get the full size image. And About, this is just your, you know, what your website's about. So going back to the photo thing. I'll go to the photo.html, make sure you're on the right page. Now, if I click in here, you'll see that this box is all just one big box. This is the thing, as I said, with slicing and why it's so important to slice correctly. So I'm going to go back into here and go to, I need to open thing again. No, actually I don't need to do that. Okay, so let's say for example, you have this and you're making your photo page. What is going on here? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Sorry about that, fly was just headbutting me. Okay, so this is about, okay, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to take this slice here. Oops. I'm going to take this slice, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring in those images again. I'm just going to bring in one to show you. So Control C to copy, excuse me, and V to paste. Now, you can resize them and everything else. Now, this time, before I save, I'm going to take the slice tool again, and I'm just going to create a slice around that image. Okay? Now, because that image is sliced, when you get it into Dreamweaver, okay, you'll have this box, but you'll have another box here as well where the image was sliced. I'll show you, so, just to show you how it's done. So I'll go to File. Why don't you save it as a different name, because I don't want to overwrite the one that's there. Oh, whoops. It's File, Save for Web. Save. I'm going to call this photo link, just so it doesn't get mixed up. A photo link, that'll do. Okay, I'm going to save it and replace. And Dreamweaver, I'll just quickly show you how we're running here. I'm almost 60 minutes already. So in Dreamweaver here, I'm just going to open the page, photo link. I meant to say link, but you know. And now you'll see when you select this, it's its own image. Now what you can do here is, with a little bit of jiggery pokery, take the image that this is from. So this is from, we'll say, my pictures. So if I go pictures, I don't even know which one was it. This one? We'll say it was this one. Okay, so I'm going to copy this image. This is the original image we linked into Photoshop. We're going to go to desktop. This is very important. You go to the web test, go into your images page, into your images folder, I mean. We're going to paste it in here. Okay? And it's called 005.jpg. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Dreamweaver, and we're going to go click the folder button. This is making this a link. Double click on images, click on the file, and click OK. Now what that means is that when people click this on the web page, it will bring them up a full-size image of that picture, and I'll show you that now. So we're going to go to Preview browser. Yes. And now if you click that, there you go, you get a full-size image, and we're still within the web directory. We haven't gone outside the web, or we're still in that folder structure. And you can just click back to go back to this, and we click it again, and that's it. That's just basically, for images and stuff like that, it really depends on what you want to do. Now back in Dreamweaver, we're going to ignore that because this was just to show you how to do that. This is the main page. We're going to go File, and we're going to go Save All, and that should have saved it all back here. So we now have a folder, and this is what I wanted to show you. We now have a folder with 4 pages. We don't worry about the photo link. That was just to show you how to make pictures clickable, so ignore that for now. We have photo.html, index.html, and about.html. Now I'm going to just show you the system here. I'm going to make up a system here just to show you if you need to upload this or anything as part of what you're doing. I'm going to create a new folder. You don't have to do this. This is just if you want to bring your website when it's finished, and let's say you've paid for hosting and you want to actually post to the web. This is just to show you how to do it. You needn't create this folder. It's just me showing you how to do this. I'm going to call this root. Usually that's what it's called. If for example you have a web server and they give you an FTP access or a file access to upload your web page and contents, usually the directory is called root. Okay, so you go into root and you'll have different files here, maybe blank ones, whatever. Now to upload your actual web page, you have to. I'm going to ignore this one. This was just a tutorial one. I'm going to take photo, index, and about, and hold the images thing. We're going to copy. You wouldn't be copying. Obviously, you would be just selecting these to upload. Not copying. But essentially, then you would put them into your root folder. Okay. Now, when people, let's say our website's called www.test.com. When people go to test.com, this is the page that will load, index.html, okay? So when they go to test.com, that's the page they see first. And if we go in there, you see your beautifully elegant designed web page. And once they load this, to go to different sections of your website, they will click over here. So home is home, photo is your photographs, and about is your about page. Okay? So no matter where they click on the page, they will be able to get back to the home, no problem. Okay, so go from there to about, back to photo. It's clickable all the way through. I want to stress, before I go any further, finish the tutorial, this is not a neat website by any way, and it's not a nice design element of a website. It's just showing you the technical side of things, you know. So in Dreamweaver, you should have three things open. Each one of them should be linked to the page you want them to link to. So as I said, for example, about should go to about.html, photo to photo.html, home to index.html. Home, basically, home page is called, you know, generally always called your index.html. The same on all of these. Once all these have the same thing, once each page has the same links, once you save them all and you upload them to Firefox, everything will work the way it does here. Now, that's the basic how to get it from Photoshop to there. Let's say, for example, you have your home page, right? And you say, well, I want to edit this text now. What do I do? You know, I want to update it, or, you know, make it more later or whatever. When you go into Photoshop, you would go to this. Remember, you don't change anything on the left of the top, just the content here. So you go there, you load your original, you go to your original downloads, or wherever your file is saved, original PSD, and you'd load it up. I'll just close these. Okay, so what you would do then is you would take your original page. If it's not open, you'd open it in Photoshop. I'm going to take this and delete it, and I'm going to delete, I'm going to undo the slice. There we go. And basically then you take your text and you fill it in, and you change it to what you want it to be. I'm using a weird font there, but you know, if you're using Arial or whatever, it's all fine. And you would type in what you want there. Oh, I think I know it's wrong. I think it's the sides of the box. But anyway, that's basically what you do. You go back in and you edit your text, or you can do it inside the HTML editors if that's what you prefer. As I said, it's all down to, you know, what you rather do. Now, what I'm going to do for next few tutorials is I'm going to show you some tricks and tips you can use to make your website look better. For example, how to add a Twitter feed box down here, PayPal donate box, things like this. So if your website, you know, you want some social media, things like that, social networking stuff, I mean, in here, I'll show you how to do that, how to add icons up here to make people be able to click into your different things, your Tumblr, your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever it is. We're going to have a little Twitter kind of HTML tweak in here. It's a little bit more complicated, but I think it looks really good. It's very simple Twitter, latest tweet kind of thing. So that's kind of cool, and I'll show you some design elements as well to how to make the website look better. So that's really it. I think we've gone 23 minutes, my god. So yeah, so basically we've taken the sliced, as you can see there, each has individual boxes. We've taken the sliced save from here, brought it into Dreamweaver, and we've made these words that we want as links into links, each with going to their own page. We then added photographs to make a photo page. We added basically a junk about page just to show you that. And each page that's inside Dreamweaver, each of them are linked up. So you can't just link the index page and go done. You have to link each individual page, each individual link has to be linked up. And like that, what just happened to me there, see that? If you link that, that's not going to work. People mouse up and down, they won't be able to find that. So make sure when you're selecting that you're on the actual image. And again, bottom left down here will show you what you have selected. That's it. I hope that was of good help to you. I'm going to be active around, so I'll be making a few tutorials and stuff as well. If you have any questions at all about this tutorial, I'll stop doing that freaking out. If you have any questions at all about tutorial, feel free to comment below. I will be answering them, not like before where I've left things. I actually will be around, so I'll be able to answer any questions you have. And if you need any help with anything, feel free to drop me a PM. I'll try and help the best I can. You could do me a great favor by subscribing, commenting, rating, whatever it is you think. And if you have a finished website that you've done using this tutorial, I'd love to see it. So yeah, drop me a link in a PM, and I'll maybe even add it to the next video to show people, you know, how it's worked. So if you've done this and you finished it, even if it's not hosted live, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you've designed a website using this tutorial, I would love to see it. I really would. So again, drop me a PM, send me a link somewhere I can download it or have a look at it. That's really it. The next tutorial, as I say, would be more about how to make this a bit more jazzy looking, add a few features, and then after that, I'm actually going to start a new series tutorials, not just software. I'm going to be doing some game tutorials, all different kinds of stuff. I have some Payday 2, I have them in the beta at the moment. I'll be showing some tutorials on tricks and tips in that, and also Flight Simulator X. I've been tweaking that over the last week or two, and I've actually got some new software for that I bought recently, like the PMDG 737 and GX. So if you're into gaming and you want tutorials for gaming and stuff as well, I'll be doing tutorials for everything, absolutely everything, photography, you name it, the whole lot. So if you have any tutorials you want, again, comment below, let me know. Anything you want to see done in tutorial, any software, give me a shout. More web stuff to come. Flight Simulator 1 as well I have on the way, I have in mind. And that's really it. I apologise sincerely that it's taken so long for me to get this done. I've been out the last few months for medical reasons. I haven't had a chance to get anything done at all, really. But sorted now, all back and ready to go. So if you have any questions, any problems, drop me a PM or a comment. This is Port from Attitudes. Thanks for having a look at my tutorial, and I'll see you again soon.